Hello out there and good morning, traders. It is February 5th, 2024, and welcome to the Apteros Daily Market Insight. As usual, we're going to start with our recap and then we'll update our session plan and levels for today. So, taking a look at our recap from February 2nd, it was one of those days where we didn't have a very clear narrative. So, I put up the more important neutral references for us and essentially just said, like, trade at your own risk and your own discretion. And you could use these levels if you so desire or choose. But if not, it's not a day that we want to press any type of NADRO framework or methodology. And the main reason why was essentially just because the ES at that time I was building out the DMI, it hadn't accepted into a quality, clear-cut narrative for us to drill down into a central line in the sand and create a solid game plan out of it. So these days happen. It's not a big deal for us. It's just part of the game. You know, not every day you're going to have that clarity and that obvious positioning in the market or that obvious context in the market that you could lean into. So this was kind of the story of Friday. It broke down here, held underneath this neutral reference, continued to the downside here with a nice little move from reference to reference here, and then it started to stabilize off of this neutral reference, came right back up again, and ended up kind of building up some energy and then breaking up through it in this move here. And then from then on, it was all about just staying bullish because we were out in open space, looking for pullbacks to get on board as we headed up into that overall neutral destination at that 49.89 zone. So that was the general story for what happened on Friday. Our neutral references and our ideas, still holding up in terms of inflections and reactions from the market. Just no clear context for us to get on board with, and we had to wait for acceptance to even, really trade to the upside. So that was kind of the story of Friday. Let's open up and see what's going on today. Now, taking a look at today, we have a dual line in the sand type of situation. We have a more bullish scenario up here, and then we have the overall higher time frame type of idea down here to be bullish. So let's just break down our different ways in which this could manifest itself with our context today. So looking at our upper line in the sand, we have a binary kind of outcome from there. We have the more bullish scenario being scenario 1. We come down into here and flex across it, and then we head back into these target zones with our overall stretch target up above there. Scenario 2, if we do end up seeing it, would be a breakdown heading into this neutral area here as the overall destination for the first leg of that move. And then heading into this overall bullish zone would be the contextual destination for scenario 2 if we end up seeing something like that develop. And then, of course, taking a look down here at the bigger line in the sand, this is more or less the higher time frames, and we're looking at the bullishness on those higher time frames here. Scenario 3 would be a hold of those higher time frame line in the sand. We do have that neutral reference to watch out for with scenario 3. And then, of course, getting back up above there, with that being the overall destination for scenario 3. That would just be, the best way to kind of handle scenario 3 in terms of targeting. If we do get back up above our, early line in the sand, then you could start using the same targets up above there. All right, so let me clean this up a little bit here. Let me just go over that real quick. 1, stretch target up to here. 2, stretch target down into here. 3, main target up into here. And then anything up above would be a recovery of this line in the sand. And then, of course, we have scenario 4, which would be a full breakdown of all of our bullish references here. I have to move the screen down a little bit here so you can see the lower edge of this. We have a lot of open space below these 2 neutral references down below it. So if we do end up getting down below and holding a lot of open space until pretty much we come down into the 48.20s, something like that, that would be our overall target to the downside for scenario 4. So that is our whole entire layout of our DMI for today. You can see kind of the areas and zones we're paying attention to for the session. This zone here is going to be interesting, especially if we do pull all the way back into our higher time frame references, because if we start to pull out of it, we'll have to get above that to really see that full traversal in main target area for scenario 3. So just a quick note around that neutral reference as well. Same with scenario 2. If we break down into here, we're going to have to get below that to even get a test of this main line in the sand. So this neutral reference is going to be important for us for scenarios 2 and 3 just to pay attention to and be mindful of as the market develops if these things start to manifest themselves. All right, so that is our overall landscape and plan for today. Trade well and make sure you mind your risk and trade your process at the best of your ability. Sorry about that. Let's get after it.